Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Blue Golf Ball here today with another Pokemon TCG online video. And today I have for you guys a Golduck deck. And you're probably thinking, what? This is so random. And it is. It is indeed completely random. One day I decided to look through some of the cards that I own, and I was wondering, what's a card from Boundaries Crossed that's a water type that can deal with Pyroar and his free retreat. And I thought, well, there's this guy, Golduck. It's got the attack Amnesia. For a colorless energy, you can hit 20. And you choose one of the defending Pokemon's attack. That Pokemon can't use that attack during their next turn. So, if you're facing against a Seismitoad EX, you can actually do Amnesia and then prevent them from using Quaking Punch. It also gives you free retreat, which is really good. We are weak to lightning, but that's alright. So the deck's going to be built around this guy. We are going to play Mew EX as a tech, and we're going to use the versatile ability to copy Golduck. Now, the problem with Amnesia here, again, is that you choose a defending Pokemon's attack. If you're facing against another Mew EX, technically this isn't an attack. So you can make sure that they don't ever use Replace, but that's kind of useless. They never use Replace, which who really does? They always use Versatile. And so that's going to be one of the loopholes there. That doesn't really work too well with Golduck. Now, another thing we're going to be using here is going to be Dragalge's Poison Barrier ability. Your opponent's poison Pokemon can't retreat. And that way, when we hit them with an Amnesia, for Pokemon like Mega Evolution Pokemon that only have one attack, they just can't attack, right? They won't be able to attack, period. And if we combine it with, not this right here, with Hypnotoxic Laser, we're going to poison them. And then once they are poisoned, we have Dragalge here with Poison Bearer, and they're stuck. We will have Keldeo here, since it is a water type, and we can use it with Float Stone to rush and retreat. However, if our opponent has Keldeo on their side of the field, they can rush in and retreat too. So this deck has plenty of flaws, a lot of things that don't really work in this deck, and this deck by no means is competitive, and by no means can it really compete with some of these Tier 1 decks. And this deck is primarily set up to be kind of a just for fun, and yeah. So we're trying to, I don't know, I'm trying to pull off this idea here. All right, we got a couple things that we can make it work, and I thought, hey, why not have Golduck have its time to shine in the sun sometimes, you know? And we gotta show respect where it's due for Mr. Golduck here. So that's it for the Pokemon. Let's take a look at the item cards and whatnot. We're gonna have Crushing Hammer, 4 of these. We're gonna be kind of a energy disrupting kind of deck. And again, with Lifesteal Trump card gone, we can't really get these back unless we use Dowsing Machine, which we will be playing. One Dive Ball, since we run Water type Pokemon, works pretty well. Dowsing Machine here, pretty flexible to be able to get the Crushing Hammers back into our hand to use it again. That includes Enhanced Hammer. We're going to have 2 of these. And then Evil Soda, since we have 2 Stage 1 lines, works very well. We have Hypnotoxic Laser, previously already mentioned, 4 of these. Max Potion. You know, this could get removed, technically. We may not even need Max Potion, but I'm not too sure if I should keep it in there or not. We have Trainer's Mail, and again, this is going to be a staple in most of my decks. I really like Trainer's Mail, and they have it reprinted in the next set as a secret rare, so I'm stoked for that. We have Ultra Ball. Let's see, of course, Ultra Ball has got to be in every deck almost, besides like pure water decks or something like that. But VS Seeker, 3 of these. Coldurus, and here it is, Getsis. So we have 2 Team Plasma supporters here. Getsis here can work very well in scenarios where, in case like we lock our opponent up with the Poison Barrier and they have a switch in their hand or an escape rope, we can actually play Getsis and kind of try to disrupt their hand that way. Who knows? That could be pretty useful. I'm not sure. Lysander and N. We have the Birch here, one of these, and Juniper. I'm not sure how many Junipers I have. Only 2 Junipers again. I've been cutting the amount of Junipers, but by no means should you cut your Juniper count either. I'm only down to 2. If you feel like in most of your decks you want to have 4, feel free to do that. We have Shadow Triad to be able to use VS Seeker to get Shadow Triad back into our hand and get the Hypnotoxic Laser, so we can actually Hypnotoxic Laser a couple more times than just the typical 4. And Dimension Valley, gotta have 4 of these. We definitely need it for the Mew EX, 2 Float Stones, and 4 Muscle Bands. Now, for the energy count, we only have 4 energies. That's insane. Well, Amnesia is a very cheap energy cost, and since we're going to be using Mew EX with Dimension Valley, we don't even need an energy drop whatsoever. If anything, we may use Aquafall, and we're going to end up discarding all the energy on this Pokemon anyways, or we can try to invest in Keldeo and put 3 energies on Keldeo. Who knows? That could be a plan there as well. So, alright, so without further ado, let's go ahead and see this deck in action on Pokemon TCG Online. Alright, and we're going to be playing against Jaggy99, and my opponent will be flipping tails, and looks like the coin toss was heads, so we'll be going first. We lead off with the Mew EX, and I will likely place the Keldeo onto the bench, and this is not too bad of a start. It's not too shabby, so let's go ahead. We're going to do that, and we could... Oh, actually, this is a pretty bad start. Alright, so what we're going to do is probably end up discarding 2 of our Muscle Bands. We'll get the Psyduck out here, and then we can use the Evil Soda to get the Golduck in the next turn. And then play the Muscle Band and play the Dimension Valley. So we'll prevent our opponent from doing a Shout of Power in the next turn. Or not. My opponent plays a Switch, brings out the... Oh, wow. We could see Muscle Band with a Fighting Stadium that could hit us for 90 damage and 30 to the bench. That's equivalent to a Darkrai EX for 1 energy. That's insane. You can do that in 1 turn. And there it is. That's 90... and 30 to the Psyduck. Wow, that is scary. That's like a Darkrai right there, folks, with 3 energies, you know, the Dark Patch and everything. But anyways, we're going to go ahead. We'll just take it nice and slow, I suppose, and get everything going here and set everything up on our side of the field. We even get an Enhanced Hammer. We can get rid of that. Got the Float Stone here. We can play it on to Keldeo. We can rush in and retreat, and we're playing our hand size down to nothing. We're going to get hit for 40. We'll do prevent the Hammerhead. So my opponent can still do a number of things here. My opponent has 7 cards. We can still see something like a Karina for a Lucario EX plus a Switch, an Energy Drop, something like that. That could finish off the Mew EX. And there it is. There is the Lucario EX. I mean, we could have seen that on for the Shout of Power Landers too with the Muscle Band. That could have worked as well. And there's the Karina. Did I say I called it? I totally called it. And my opponent goes for a Hawlucha. We see an energy drop there, and also the Switch. So poor Mew EX will get knocked out. And, well, it's okay. I mean, we got, at least we have Keldeo over here with the Float Stone. At the very least, we can rush in and retreat. So all we need is an energy drop. We do get a Colress. What a great top deck that was. We miss on the energy drop. I'm going to go ahead and play Crushing Hammer. We did get the Crushing Hammer to work, though, and that's really good. So what we need to do next, probably just go with the Hypnotoxic Laser. Hopefully, kind of cross my fingers. Maybe my opponent will flip tails. And you know what? I'm just going to end my turn. I could definitely play Dowsing Machine and discard 2 things for a Trainer's Mail, but that's not going to be too necessary. What I really need right now is either a Mew EX or an energy drop. That would be really good. And so my opponent right now can still switch. We can see something like an Escape Rope or Scramble Switch, and that's it. My opponent passes the turn. So this makes me wonder, you know, for sure I don't want to play Juniper. I don't want to discard those lasers. I'm going to go with Colress instead because, you know, I didn't see my opponent play anything. My opponent just passed the turn. I didn't want to end my opponent down to 4 and potentially get my opponent something else. So I'm going to go with this route instead. I ended up playing the Colress, and let's go with the Amnesia, preventing my opponent from doing a Missile Jab in the next turn if my opponent wakes up. My opponent even stays asleep. So in any case, my opponent would need a switch, and we didn't see my opponent switch or do anything last turn. So unless my opponent top deck something, then my opponent could start attacking me, I guess. We could see an energy drop on the Landorus or something. But in any case, this time around, we can play the N and my opponent down to 4 and see what we can do from there. Or we can play VS Seeker, go for another Colress, play the Scrub onto our bench, and then, you know, Colress for 7. to have the Dimension Valley in our hand too. So if my opponent counters the stadium this turn, we have the luxury of countering the stadium once again and kind of having an upper hand on the stadium war. My opponent even gets a Shauna, so my opponent must have top decked that Shauna this turn. Otherwise, we could have seen it last turn as well. But that's about it. My opponent does not do anything else. It makes me wonder, so I'm going to go ahead. We'll just play the N. And we get N into a lot of VS Seekers. Didn't really need to see that, but we'll just go for the Missile Jab lock right here. So Amnesia, my opponent won't be able to use a Missile Jab unless my opponent has something like, maybe an energy switch plus an energy drop. That would work too. Or we could see a switch, perhaps even a super scoop up. That could work too. And my opponent goes for a Sycamore, and there's a scoop up, and it even gets heads. There goes the Lucario EX. My opponent's gonna bring out the Landorus and probably start destroying our poor. Oh, wait a second. My opponent brings up the Landorus instead, and I don't know if that was a misclick or something, but there goes the Landorus, and here comes the Landorus right there. Hello, Landorus. Goodbye, and hello again. Welcome to the bench. And too bad you're not in the active spot. But there's that muscle band again. We can probably see. And that's it. My opponent concedes the match. And we'll take it. So, I guess. Anyways, we'll play another match here. Maybe I'll do 2 more, or maybe just 1 more match, or we'll take a look and see. And we're going to be playing against #888. Call 1-888-464-1010. And I'm just kidding. That's the first thing that came to my mind when I thought about 3 8s in a row. It's always those 1-800 or 1-888 numbers. Anyways, we're going to be playing against a Donphan deck. We see the full stone. We see Donphan. We see Robo Subs and Muscle Bands, Lystanders, all these stuff there. We're going to start off with the Mew, and we will be able to draw into a number of cards. Lucky for us. Hopefully, we can draw into a Psyduck. And yeah, these are one of those, this is the kind of deck that I wonder, why am I playing a Golduck with Psyduck deck? I mean, what the heck? This is ridiculous. But anyways, let's go ahead. We will probably be playing Skrelp on the bench. Lucky for us, we get to go first once again. So we'll play the Skrelp, and then we even might as well play the Energy. You never know when you miss out on the Dimension Valleys. So here it is. We get to mulligan a number of times. I could actually play the Getsus right here. And take a look at my opponent's hand too. So Donphan, Lysander, ooh, thank goodness we got rid of those Robo Subs right away, and got 2 cards from that. I don't mind that at all. Let's go with the Hypnotoxic Laser, put my opponent to sleep, and we'll pass the turn. My opponent stays asleep. That's a huge bonus in case my opponent top decks something like a DCE, but my opponent will be able to play that Sycamore, or we could see my opponent play the Lysander that we saw from, peeking at his hand. So we know for sure my opponent has my opponent top decked a Robo Sub. My opponent has 3 cards. That's a Lysander, Sycamore, and a Donphan. So we'll play the N for the next turn. My opponent can always play the Sycamore and the Donphan in the next turn. So we're going to play the N, disrupt the hand a little bit. We don't really want to give my opponent 7 cards and a Donphan. So let's go ahead. We'll retreat into the Mew. And yeah, we're definitely not going to play Colress. So let's go ahead. We'll evolve right there. The Zekrom is locked. I'm going to go and pick up the Dimension Valley. We do have an N here as well. Let's go with that Trainer's Mail and another Floatstone. I'm going to hang on to the Lysander instead. That way we can Lysander out the Phanpy or either that or the Donphan, either or. And we'll stop my opponent from playing Outrage in case my opponent has the DC in hand. My opponent drawing another card, having 7 in his hand. I could see something like a switch, escape rope, scramble switch for crying out loud, who knows, or even a super scoop up like the last game that we just saw. But never mind, all we see is a strong energy muscle band Donphan coming from the Karina. Could see a switch right here, or we could see another Robo Sub. You never know, you never know. So, Enhanced Hammer. I mean, I don't play any Celestial Energies, but all right, so we can either Lysander out the Donphan, or we can finish off the Zekrom. I'm gonna opt to finish off the Zekrom, which is slow down the Donphan a little bit more. Let's go for the Versatile, and let's go for the Amnesia. No need to play the Dimension Valley yet. We're gonna wait and see if my opponent plays, and that's it. My opponent concedes the match. We had the game locked in control right here. We could have Lysander out the Donphan if my opponent was able to get an energy drop and take out the Robo Sub. So right there, guys, this game was ours for the taking. My opponent flipped 5 tails. Wow, 5-1 right there. Only 1 head flip, and hey, Win is a win. We'll take it. And you know what? I'll play one last match for you guys, and hopefully, yeah, it's so hopefully the person we don't play another fighting deck. I already played against 2 fighting decks. I don't really want to play a 3rd fighting deck either, unless you guys. I mean, hey, fighting decks. If that's your thing, you like fighting decks. Well, fine. You've enjoyed the video so far, then. And we're gonna be playing against another fighting deck. Oh my goodness, Casimir is a straight up fighting deck. And I wonder what we're going to be up against. Oh, no, it's a Metachamp and a Machamp. Oh, gosh. Okay, we see the Evil Soda. We see a number of things here. Lucky for us, we're going first again. Plus, my opponent mulls again, and my opponent concedes the match. Thank goodness. I didn't want to play against another fighting deck anyway. Hopefully, all right. So this one doesn't really count. I'm gonna play one last match for you guys, and hopefully it is not another fighting deck. I've been playing way too many of these fighting decks, and even before recording, I've been playtesting, and all I've been playing against was fighting decks for some reason. You figure you see more variety out there, but we're going to be playing against a fighting and lightning deck, and it's going to be Shiba. I don't know, but my opponent has a Pikachu hat. That's pretty cool. We're going to lead with the Mew EX here. We do have the Psyduck and the Skrelp ready to go, placing them onto the bench. Otherwise, we don't have much of anything else. Yeah, we really need to evolve in the next turn. That'll be really good. We are playing against a Metatite, so that's a little peculiar. This could be the same thing as last deck that we were playing against. And there's a Donphan, or a Phanpy, I mean. Eventually, we'll evolve into a Donphan. My opponent plays a energy right there. I'm going to go ahead and, what should I hang on to? I'm going to go with the Enhance Hammer, just to let my opponent know, hey, buddy, I got an Enhance Hammer. If you want to play something, I got it for you. You know. So let's go with the Dazzle Dance, hopefully putting him into confusion, but it wouldn't really matter if my opponent evolves into the Metachamp this turn. The special condition would be gone. So, and there it is, my opponent evolves both of them. Wow, we are in top deck mode here, and we do get an Ultra Ball. You know what? I'm going to have to do it. Let's just get rid of, the stadiums. I think my opponent plays the special energies, so I'm going to hang on to my, my Enhance Hammer. And let's go ahead and a misclick. That should have been I should have did oh man. Okay, well I mean, whatever. Okay. Well, hey, my opponent passes the turn anyways, and this is looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and we'll do Amnesia, and guess what? I'm gonna get rid of the Calm Mind. That way, my opponent can't heal twice. And opponent will need 2 energies to do Yoga Kick anyway, unless my opponent was able to do something like an energy switch. See the energy drop plus energy switch. My opponent is powering up the Donphan over there, but we're looking pretty good right here. And I'm just going to go ahead and go for the Amnesia. Hit for 40 and go for the Yoga Kick. It doesn't really matter. My opponent passes out anyways. We do get the end right here. My opponent at 5 and we are at 4. We see a Phanpy and all right, well, my opponent is really powering up this Donphan right here. We get hit for 60, and very likely we could pass out in the next turn. So let's go with that Psyduck. We can play that right now. We do have the Dimension Valley, but I'm going to hang on to my hand. And let's go with the Amnesia hitting right there. Can remove the tackle. That way my opponent can't tackle us. My opponent can still evolve into the Donphan, and then we can get hit with perhaps Strong Energy or Muscle Band Energy Drop. That would actually knock us out for 60. But I'm really waiting for that Strong Energy. My opponent must be hanging on to it because my opponent knows that I have an Enhance Hammer or something. And no, wait, never mind. There's a Strong Energy. We get hit for 60, and well, that's okay. So I'm gonna bring out the Golduck here. We can evolve the Golduck on the bench, and wow, lucky top deck. We were able to get the energy drop right there, and might as well play the Dimension Valley. Let's go with the N and more float stones. That's not going to be really necessary. Let's go with this. Hey, look, it's a Juniper. I'll take that. And in the next turn, we could probably just go with the Juniper, but we'll hit him for 40 with the weakness there. It's kind of nice, and my opponent won't be able to use a spinning turn. My opponent can still play an energy drop and hit us for a wreck, and otherwise, all we need to hope for is another energy drop onto the Golduck on the bench and continue hitting for the Amnesia. So my opponent plays a Karina going for the Lucario EX, and I gotta wait and see. So right here, the math is going to be a little bit tricky. How can we get the math to work right? Ideally, what we want to happen is the poison damage coming into our turn, and so we can do an Amnesia on a fresh Pokemon. That's kind of the plan, but it is what it is. Let's go ahead. We'll play this right here, and might as well play these Float Stones. And both Float Stones are gone, so it's a little bit of a shame. I am going overly aggressive on the tools. My opponent can definitely play the what do you call it? Starling Megaphone and get rid of all these right away. But I'll take my chances. Anyways, the Donphan is out into play, and ooh, there is the Starling Megaphone, and we can still get the Floatstone back with the Dowsing Machine. Anyways, it looks like my opponent's going to opt to evolve into the Mega Lucario, but this works right into our hand. If my opponent evolves into the Mega Lucario, I can just go ahead and hit Amnesia. My opponent won't be able to use the 140 damage right there. My opponent even gets a Scramble Switch. That's going to be pretty interesting. And that's it. My opponent Mega evolves. We'll just go... Well, we can laser the Donphan, I guess. My opponent's going to switch anyways. Yeah, whatever. My opponent won't be able to, do Spinning Turn at the very least. So let's go ahead. I'm going to hang on to the Hypnotoxic Laser, at least onto the Lucario EX. My opponent right now won't be able to. Oh, my opponent plays an N. And, okay. So, well, hey, we got 2 lasers and a useless Max Potion. That's not going to be really handy. My opponent won't be able to use Spinning Turn, but this Rising Fist ain't going nowhere here, guys. Even with that energy drop over there, we are not afraid. And that reminds me of the song from Eminem. If you... Never mind. I'm going to hang on to these lasers. We're just going to go and hit for weakness and take this guy out. Here is the Lucario, and we will slowly but surely just take care of business and hit him where it hurts. No more Rising Fist for you. I'm sorry, Mega Lucario, sir. No more attacking, since you only got 1 attack anyways. And never mind, that's it. That ends this game. And I already played, 3-4 matches for you guys? Well, 1 didn't really count since that person bailed out early. But it is what it is. We'll take the victory here. And Golduck shines as the MVP, which he rightly should. And Amnesia, hey, what do you know, right? Amnesia, we didn't run into any Toads. I really wanted to run into Toads because I wanted to, attack the Quaking Punch. And if my opponent was ever able to poison us or whatever, we had free retreat on the Golduck plus Keldeo for the flexibility of free retreat for UEX. And if anything, we could have done UEX with an energy drop and Dimension Valley to do Quaking Punch on the Seismitoad. So, I really constructed this deck in hopes to run into Toad decks, but all we ran into was fighting decks. And so that's it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoy it, and yeah, if you guys are new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. And if you have any other deck ideas, shoot them my way. I'll see if I can build them. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're a returning subscriber, thanks for watching. And you guys all take care. Have a wonderful day. See you later. Goodbye.